Eliot Clough and Sean Bock here for Hawkeye Insider 24/7 Sports. Post-victory for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Ben McCollum's first game ever leading Iowa in the men's basketball program, 101-69 over Robert Morris. Sean, initial takeaways from the win, maybe the first thing you think of from this win.
Yeah, I mean, the easy thing is going to be Bennett Sturts. I mean,
Yeah.
just the way that he was able to play and really take control of the game. And I think one of the things, too, we've talked a lot about the starting lineup and whatnot. And I think we all kind of overreacted a little bit in terms of like who's gonna start and like does that really matter? But they're still trying to figure things out. But I mean, just from the jump, like just the defensive intensity and the cohesiveness was really impressive to watch, and that really is not something we're used to in terms of watching Iowa basketball the last couple of years. And
Understatement.
you know,
of the
just
year.
just the attention to that. And I mean, I thought the offensive flow was a lot better as well than I think McCollum maybe put on. I know that's been something that they've really tried to work on the last couple of weeks because it was something that was lacking in the secrets during the preseason exhibitions. But I thought coming out right at the gates, like I thought the execution was really good. Getting some of those late shot clock shot attempts too, and those drawing fouls, and then Alvaro Folgueras coming off the bench as well. I thought was a really positive thing. And McCollum mentioned after the game too that it's going to take some time with figuring out rotations, and there's going to be some times where certain guys aren't going to play as many minutes because of the matchup. And I think that's something that we saw today, but it really just felt kind of like a fever dream in Carver Hawkeye. Like it was a really cool setting to be in, I think.
This was the best men's basketball environment that I've, maybe not in its entirety, because there were a couple good games that I got to cover first year, second year of Fran being here the last two seasons, but student section far and away the best it's been
awesome.
in these few years. They're right down on the court. They feel like they're right there. They're involved. Of course, energy can always be better, but McCollum was hyping up the crowd. Like, when was the last time we saw something like that?
Yeah,
from
that was really
staff. Cool. But like you mentioned, Bennett, 19 points, I think 5 assists or something like that.
He's extremely efficient too from the field.
That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Starts right.
Yeah.
Really a whole team performance. You mentioned Folgueras, Brendan Hassan. No, he didn't start. He only played 15 minutes, 5 in the first half, but finished with 10 points. I think Cam Maniow, Tavion Banks each scored in double figures. Tavion Banks had 17 points. Tons of dunks tonight. Got to check the rims after tonight because they were throwing them down. But I think the main thing too from the post-game presser, Ben McCollum thanking the fans. They all went around the outside of the court tonight and thanked the fans for being here, and McCollum continually emphasizing the fans. It's a Tuesday in the middle of football season. This is only going to get better. This is a team that will draw fans. This is a team that plays with effort and intensity, something that this program has been desperately missing for a few years now. I mean, defensive rotations. Bennett Sturts is playing with defensive effort. He played 35 minutes tonight. He's going to play more in the Big Ten. I mean, he didn't sit on the bench until he was done playing, but he brought defensive effort every single possession. He's leading the offense. It's top to bottom with this team.
Yeah, one more thing too. I mean, you mentioned the play of Isaiah Howard and Cooper Koch. I think those were two of the guys that a lot of people were really waiting on, and I think a lot of people kind of thought that he would start, so he wouldn't start, but they started.
They both
together.
started.
Both started together, and they worked really well on the floor. I thought Isaiah Howard did a real good job of spacing. I mean, what did McCollum call him after the game? He said he's at the
half nuts,
half nut case or something like that. And I thought Cooper Koch looked really comfortable in the flow of things too. I mean,
way more
defense,
physical,
you
confident.
tweeted about that, and defensively too, he just looked more comfortable. And his offensive game is not necessarily going to be the one that. He's not going to run. I mean, I know they really initiate the offense with their hybrids. He's not going to be the one that's necessarily, kind of in terms of, putting the ball in the deck constantly. He's more of kind of just a go with the flow, be kind of that, secondary option, third option on the court. And that's perfectly fine because he can shoot the heck out of the ball when he gets these looks. But also I thought he was pretty aggressive off the bounce, and defensively I thought he just made leaps and bounds, and, really just effort all around. I mean, he's always been kind of a high motor guy, but I just think this system fits him so well because there's other parts of his game that you can really see. I mean, we talk about him being a shooter nonstop. I know that's something that I talked about all offseason, all of his high school. He was one of the best shooters in the country in high school. But just to see like everything kind of work with his game and see what the more he can do, and kind of break that label a little bit was really a cool thing to see as well.
Will be super interesting to follow how these lineups shake out as the season goes along. No Trey Thompson tonight, but a vote of confidence from Ben McCollum in the post-game presser. So lots to learn still about this team. Trevin Urach seeing the floor, Tate Sage seeing the floor early on. I think Jacob Cook and
Peyton McCollum and Trey Thompson were the only ones that didn't play.
Yep. So went pretty deep to the bench tonight. I would expect the same thing against Western Illinois on Friday. But lots to learn about this team. Lots we learned tonight. Way more to learn going forward. So for Sean Bock, I'm Eliot Clough with Hawkeye Insider and 24/7 Sports. Stay locked in.